Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. All right, I missed this one over the weekend, but Donald Trump was asking for like a 90-day delay on the election interference case in 2016 involving Stormy Daniels, and the reason for that is that more than 100,000 pages of documents were given by uh, the federal government from the Southern District of New York, the Federal Department of Justice, Southern District of New York, to Alvin Bragg's office on March 4th and March 13th. And those 100,000 pages were turned over to the Trump defense team. And Bragg said there's like another 15,000 pages that were slated to be delivered on Friday, March 15th. So you're looking at 115,000 pages of documents in a 2-week period for a trial that was going to start, 10 days after the last tranche of documents came in. So Trump asked for a delay. Alvin Bragg said he would be okay with a delay of 30 days. Judge Juan Merchan, who's the judge in this case, allotted a 20-day delay, but he plans on scheduling jury selection on April 15th. So I want to look at the energy around this delay and see how that plays out. Now, what's interesting here is that it means by this point, the lunar eclipse will have happened. I believe, and again, the lunar eclipse happens on the 25th, which is the day that Donald Trump's supposed to come up with a bunch of money to save his properties from being seized. And Michelle's telling me that she just found a picture of a doctored photo of Trump's personal jet with a Denver boot on it. And then 2 weeks later, on April 8th, is the solar eclipse. And 12 days after the solar eclipse, Donald Trump's, April 15th is when the Trump is scheduled. It's 20 days, not April 20th, April 15th. So what's that? That's a week after the solar eclipse. Jury selection happens with Donald Trump. And in my previous reading, I was seeing that Donald Trump looks like he's ready to have a big health event. This trial's supposed to go for about 3 weeks, I think the judge was estimating. And, Trump's going to be humiliated. Just like he was humiliated with this New York civil trial with all the fraud he's committed. Now he's going to get humiliated by somebody, a bunch of facts that just shows that he paid a woman to have sex with him, and that woman was a porn star, while his wife is home with his newly born baby son, Barron. This doesn't end in any way where Donald Trump comes out looking like a champion and a hero. He comes out looking like just this nasty old man. So come on down. Let's look at the energy. Other than the fact that documents came late, let's look at the spiritual energy around the delay in this case. What can Spirit tell us about the delay in this case and spiritually what that means? Let me make sure the cards are mixed up while I'm asking that question, lest I get cards for whatever I was thinking of beforehand. And I don't want to think about Donald Trump and Stormy Daniels, if you know what I mean. Okay. The delay in this case. What is the spiritual meaning? How does this work out? What's the story? It's the 411. Entertainment purposes only. Well, it's about agreements. Hey, what do you know? Republicans and Democrats agreeing on something. Donald Trump and the DA agreeing on something. 90 days. 30 days. You guys get 20. The judge, you know what? I think pretty much what this just set up right there is Donald Trump's not in charge of this case. Alvin Bragg is not in charge of this case. Judge Merchan is in charge of this case. I think if I were to throw no other cards and go off this reading, that's a spiritual message. We just found out who's in charge. Oh, it's going to be a barn burner. 3 of Cups. All three, the judge, the DA, and the defense attorney, they're all going to be participating in this one. And in some ways, they all agreed. There was a delay. Hooray! We've come to agreements. We've come to agreements. It's a turning point in American society. where Trump and the legal teams and judges can all agree on things. Underneath it all is the Eight of Cups, the going away, the delaying on it. And okay, it's fine to have a delay on this. What's interesting is that the 20-day delay on this might cause some delays later on. Now, Trump was trying to get 90 days, and those 90 days would obviously impact other cases, Mar-a-Lago documents case, that are coming on. There's going to be other delays, or moving this case back impacts other cases and delays some other cases. Now, again, as I've seen or mentioned in previous videos, it's looking like we really can't count on the judicial system to quote unquote save us. Only our votes are going to save us. Leaders, military leaders, Congress, the news, media, nobody's going to save us. It's up to us. And these court cases with that last chance to show everybody who this guy is from a legal sense, and we're not going to really get that. Look at all these cups. That's 4 cups now. In the past, the 9 of Cups. How interesting. Judge and jury. Donald Trump always tries to control the narrative. And I'm sure Donald Trump, after, not getting a jury in the civil trial, is looking really forward to having a jury this time. But this judge, I think this judge is like, yeah, you're coming into my court, and I'm not going to put up with your emotional shenanigans. A lot of emotion with this case. Current situation is the Queen of Pentacles. Just like the Fani Willis case, this judge sees the value in this case. A bunch of documents came in. He's offering that delay. It causes both sides to have to devote resources to look at these 115,000 pages of documents. Alvin Bragg's team looked at it mostly and said, it's stuff that we've seen before. There's no major stuff here. Trump's team says, oh my God, there's all sorts of exculpatory stuff that's really going to help us take out Michael Cohen. Okay. Because that's pretty much all they could do is try and take out people's personalities, Michael Cohen and Stormy Daniels and such. Because otherwise it's pretty much a boring old documents case. It's all just like the civil trial. There's a bunch of paperwork with names and signatures on it and dollar amounts. The only reason why this is even halfway exciting is because it involves adultery and a porn star. But there's value in delay, and the judge sees the value. Overarching energy is the 3 of Wands. There could be more delays on the horizon. There could be more information that comes in that would require further action. But this 20-day delay sets the tone by the judge. If 20 days is not enough, if Alvin Bragg asks for more time and Trump asks for more time, he might agree to a further delay. But right now, I think the judge is setting the tone. And aren't we all excited about that? Lesson to be learned is the star card. Is the judge the star of the show? Possibly. Is this the porn star? Very likely, now that I think about who's involved in the case. The lesson to be learned, it's going to be Stormy Daniels. The documents case is going to document the money that was spent. It's going to but what's interesting is spiritually, people are going to focus on the mom and the baby son. This is Melania, First Lady Melania, with last son Barron, and she's at home while Donald's out gallivanting with a porn star. This is going to be such an embarrassing case for him. Outcome is absolute freaking mayhem. I think the media is going to have a bigger time with this than anybody else. This, in some ways, this delay just allows the media to build it up even more. There could be more delays or more information that comes in, but the drunken hillbilly brawl is the outcome. This is going to cause all sorts of turmoil in Trump world, in our world. Um, if no, it's a criminal case, so Trump's going to have to sit in during this criminal case. That Three of Wands, if Trump has his health event before or during the trial, that could be what that Three of Wands is, that we're going to have to delay it 3 weeks or 3 months, something along those lines. And if it's 3 months, then it's going to put us in the summertime. Right around the time that I just did a reading on Putin, right around the time Putin's going to be going through some things. And then Five of Wands, if Trump does have a health event and the trial gets delayed, yeah, it's going to be a media frenzy. There's going to be a total frenzy going on here. This could be wild what's going to happen next month, in a month's time or so. How deep do I want to go in this? Just real quick. When it's all said and done, how is Melania going to be feeling about Trump? Because Trump's going to be humiliated. He just is. It's just what's going to happen on this. But how's Melania going to be feeling on all this? How's the wife and the son? I'd read on Barron, but I don't want to. He'll be 18 at that point, so he at least passes that criteria. But he doesn't, other than having like 2 million followers on YouTube, we don't need to read on Barron. Melania, though. Said somewhere around Barron's 18th birthday, she's ready to call it quits. And I think after this trial, she is really, really ready to call it quits. Death card, followed by the hype. She's learned more. She's heard enough. I think that's it. I've heard enough. There's no more here. I've got my dignity, and that's it. The wise woman understands when it's time to cut ties. Ace of Pentacles. All the negotiations for her prenup or postnup or whatever it is, the contract to stay married to Donald Trump has been what's been keeping her in place. I have gotten the vibe before that Trump has promised her something and he keeps saying he's done something and he hasn't. And it's like she finds out. I think by then she finds out. It could be just something as simple as, this marriage over, you did this and I didn't believe you, but now that I've heard the testimony, I believe what they said is true. You paid this woman. You absolutely did this. And, just like Trump, Melania doesn't want to be humiliated either. She just chooses to stay out of the limelight, so she doesn't get humiliated. Donald Trump goes out there and shows his butt to everybody. Asking about Melania and how she's feeling after the trial. So beforehand, she's waiting. She's not happy. All these women are coming after Donald, and they're all liars, and they're all just greedy women going after his money and just trying to shake this guy down. That's before the trial. Remember, what happens during the trial is she sees what happens and she knows who to believe. Probably hears, look at that card, probably hears enough details. Oh my God, if Stormy Daniels starts describing Donald's ding dong. Yeah, Melania understands who, not that she didn't know who Donald was before, but now the devil's sitting here. And this is the devil of humiliation. And it's the man and the woman who have been humiliated. Man, woman, who have been humiliated. And I think she's ready to take that chain off. It's like, nope, that's too much. I'm out. Done. Yeah, just embarrassing. Just shameful. Cannot believe that she was put through all that. There's your drunken hillbilly brawl. Lesson to be learned is the fighting. So when that Trump is, the whole thing with the delay led to this. This is leading to her leaving Donald. I know some of you believe she'll never leave. I'm telling you, that's not what these cards keep telling me. Outcome, Nine of Pentacles. She could renegotiate her contract. I just think she looks at it, it's like, you know what? I've got enough. I got enough. I don't need any more than this. See ya. It may not be right away, but I would say it will be soon after. I always thought she would leave when Donald's got all these court cases and he just doesn't have time to fight her. I could see it happening in the summertime. I could see her in Bering going to Europe, going to Slovenia to be with her family, and then her contacting her lawyer and handing Donald the paperwork while she's out of country. So she doesn't have to be anywhere near him and his ketchup bottles when he finds out. We will leave it at that. Not to mention, if Donald has his health issue, do you think she's going to be there changing his bedpan and wiping his bottom? Changing his drool cup? Yeah, she doesn't strike me as the nurturing type for Donald. For Barron, yes. Donald, not so much. Anyways, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for your likes, shares, comments, everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm so my channel makes it out to a wider audience. To folks just discovering this channel recently or for the first time, welcome. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.